Daniel Tiger's neighborhood. Oh, Perry Mason is going to be it. Welcome, Marathon Mondays with Mal. We are in the Marathon Coach number 1249. We're out on the road today with Dave. We're going to be checking out the drivability, safety, and features of the Prevost chassis. So, really quick before we meet Dave, I want you to see 1249. This is a H version of Marathon Coach, and it's also a 2-slide. So this is the bedroom, obviously. We've got the TV back here. It's a beautiful coach designed by our design team. Washer dryer right here. James, let's move back here and check out the bathroom. And one of the cool features that we like about this, it's a double bunk. Very large bath with a large shower. 1249 is one of my favorites that we have for sale right now. It's a 2017 Marathon. You gotta love this. Actually, let's unlock it here. And refrigerators behind the cabinetry. All right. Marathon 1249 today. Marathon Mondays with Mal. We've got my man Dave here.
Hey everybody.
This is Dave Bash. Dave's been with the company for 18 years. And he does, well, let's just, by all accounts, Dave's done more driving than pretty much anyone in the building over at Marathon. So, Dave, tell us a little bit about your experience with Marathon over the years while you pull in these slides so we can get on the road.
You want to pull the rear one in first? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's go pull the rear one in. Well, before I came to Marathon, I worked at Guarantee and at Destinations and at Country Coach. So I've been in motorhomes for about 25 years now.
Okay.
But when I came to Marathon, of course, the quality here is better than anything else that I'd seen up to this point. And I knew something about motorhomes, so I started doing deliveries with customers.
And I think that is one of the things that, by all accounts, your customers, the customers really enjoy the time that they spend with you, and they learn a lot because of your experience.
Where did you hear that?
Probably from you. No.
No, I didn't hear it from me. Hopefully from the customer.
That's right. It's from the customers, and it's from other people around the building.
Okay.
That they the time they spend with you taking delivery of their new coach or new to them is really a valuable time, and
Okay.
Your experience is a big part of that.
Glad to hear that.
Perry Mason still on TV. That's a good thing. Raymond Burr. That's classic.
I'm going to move that slide in now.
Okay.
Everything's clear off the floor.
I'm going to go put this back up. James, did you get a chance to show everybody the electric fireplace as the front slide comes in? And also, as we talked about last week on Marathon Mondays, we were in the design area with Al Christensen, and there's one of the elephants right up there. An elephant in every coach.
All right.
Let's get on the road here and talk about the Prevost chassis.
Okay. Turn GPS on. Here comes GPS up out of the dash. And of course, we always like to wear our seat belts. Mirrors adjusted, seats adjusted, good to go.
All right, so for those of you who are watching live on Facebook, most likely today we're not going to be able to take your questions as we are rolling down the road with Dave. But if you have any questions, please place them, and within the hour, we'll get to them and answer them. And we really appreciate everybody watching. So we're out, what are we, Dave, about 10 miles from the plant?
Yeah, 10, 12 miles, something like that.
Not far from I-5, but we are in the, I guess we'd consider this the Harrisburg area.
Yeah.
So
Harrisburg's just a mile down the road.
real close to the Coburg location of Marathon. So Dave, 18 years with Marathon. You've
Yep.
driven all over the country.
Yeah.
And so you're very familiar with the drivability of the Prevost chassis that all Marathons are built on.
Yep.
Let's start the conversation about the Prevost chassis with talking about, well, let's just open it up with your favorite feature. What's your favorite feature that you find on the Prevost chassis?
It drives better than anything else out there. We got a lot of customers that trade in like a fiberglass coach, come and drive these things. They didn't even know that this kind of ride existed in a motorhome. It's just very, very smooth, like if you're in a Lincoln or a Cadillac. One of the things I like about the chassis and the drivability is you're going around corners, the airbags, you got airbags for the air suspension on the coach, they compensate as you're going around the corner.
Now that's pretty unique to Prevost, is it not?
Well, it's been in Prevost coaches for a long time. A lot of cars have gone to that system, been using it for a while too. But and if you're going too fast around the corner too, it'll put on the brakes and slow you down.
Gotcha. So let's talk about that. Is that the adaptive cruise braking system?
No, it's tied in to that. It's part of the chassis system, but the adaptive cruise braking is separate from that system. There's a lot of good plus points about the Prevost drivability of the coaches.
So let's talk about adaptive cruise braking system.
Okay.
There's a great video on the Prevost website that we've looked at.
Right.
It basically shows how the coach knows when there are objects in front of it.
Yes, there's a radar device mounted in the front bumper that sends out a signal from the coach. And if you're coming up on a slower coach in front of, or a slower vehicle in front of you, the coach senses it and starts slowing you down, and it'll even put on the brakes when you get close enough.
Gotcha.
If you can see this on the dash, that little green light on the around the speedometer there, as we get up here to the I-5 and start driving there, we'll come up to a slower vehicle and we'll show you how many lights light up around the speedometer like that.
And another thing about the Marathon coaches is that we have a driver's side, a passenger side, or a right side, and a rear camera. And as you can see, Dave's got his rear camera on as we go down the road. Kind of hard to see
Oh, fine.
in the reflection. There's the rear camera right there.
I don't know if you can see that all right.
So I'm sure this episode of Marathon Mondays with Mal is going to have a lot of questions. And one thing we're going to do after we're done going live is we're going to source Dave throughout the day, probably throughout the next couple days, Dave.
Okay.
And I will be getting Dave's input on any of your questions that you may have so that we can properly answer them, because Dave's experience is, for the lack of a better term, better than my experience when behind the wheel of a Prevost. So.
Okay, now we're going to get on I-5 here. Go south about 10 miles until we get back to Marathon.
So when we get back to Marathon, we're going to show a couple of different features in the parking lot at Marathon. But as you bring it up to speed coming on to I-5 here, Dave, why don't you talk about the smart controls on the Prevost wheel?
Well, on the smart wheel, we've got blind controls for the two windshield blinds, because they are your sun visors as you're going up and down. If I want to lower this blind, I don't have to bend anywhere. I can just lower this blind right now as far down as I need to block out any sun or anything everything like that. I can do this one over here too. Control them both from here.
Boy, that's nice.
Or take them back up. Also have cruise control buttons right here on the left. Set, resume, and cancel. Set it. Now we've got our cruise control on, but right now you can see we've got a warning here because I'm pretty close to a vehicle in front of me.
And what's that warning telling you?
It's just telling me that there's a warning. There's a vehicle close up there.
So if you were to get closer, does it do any other sort of warnings?
Yes. It'll see the lights around the steering or the speedometer here will start lighting up. Now where I notice we're getting close to a truck here too. That car's probably going to go out. I'm going to increase my speed here. To 65 or so. Now see what it's doing here? We're getting close to this vehicle and more lights are lighting up. If I get too close, they'll start going red. I'm going to force it to get closer. We're going to see more lights light up. See, like that? It's telling me I'm too close. So if I got even a little bit closer, I'd even put on the brakes and start stopping.
So if you got even more close, if you got closer than you currently were,
Yeah.
the coach would literally stop.
Well, it would put on the brakes.
It would put on the brakes.
Yes.
So it would take you off of cruise, and the coach would basically slow down.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's amazing.
It's happened many times. See, we're close to this truck. Still got that warning on. And I got those lights lighting up. I'm pushing on the accelerator to get closer. See that? Now I'm going to go around this truck.
So talk about the visibility, because one of the things that I've heard from a lot of customers and from a lot of people that are experienced with the Prevost chassis is that there's great visibility, not just with because you've got cameras, but out of the mirrors, out of all the windows. Talk a little bit about the visibility that Marathon coaches have.
Well, as you can see, we've got very large windshields, and we've got windows all around us. So we'll be able to, if I need to see, if I'm stopped at a stop sign and need to see what's coming on both sides, I've got windows to do that. But even the person sitting out there in the slot while driving has got great visibility out the side windows and out the front of the coach.
How about the comfort? You spend a lot of time in the seat. You do a lot of deliveries, you do a lot of pickups, and you drive all the way across the country. In my time being with Marathon, you've been gone half the time. So let's talk a little bit about the comfort. If you're on a long road trip, I mean, some people, they just drive from Eugene to Sacramento. That's not too bad. But a couple weeks ago, you drove all the way to Florida. So let's talk about how comfortable it is.
Well, we've got an air ride seat right here. I can take the air out, put the air back in. I can control how bouncy it is. I can take that bounciness out and still have an air ride. I can move the back of the seat, the backrest, forward and back if I want. I've got lumbar controls. I've got all kinds of controls, up and down controls. I've got control of the steering wheel. It'll telescope in and out, forward and back. It's pretty easy to operate. I've also got, one of the things you asked earlier about was the I've got controls here on the smart wheel for the transmission retarder.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's a 6-speed adjustable transmission retarder. I can adjust it at any time while I'm driving, mostly for going down mountains. The transmission retarder is a little bit stronger than the jake brake is on some of the older coaches. Most of the newer coaches are coming with the transmission retarder. I've got an indicator here on the dash that shows me what gear I'm in, or what adjustment I'm in for the transmission retarder. I can adjust it at any time, or I can pull it up all the way off. But it's a very valuable tool when you're going down the mountains, because we've got a lot of weight here, and going down the mountains, if you're having to ride your brakes all the time, it's not good for the brakes.
Right.
So that transmission retarder is a really good, valuable tool for going down the mountains to keep you from riding your brakes and overheating the brakes.
One thing I've learned from you, we were talking about it last Thursday, Friday, was the fuel economy.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what you and I spoke about last week? So the people that are watching will be interested, I'm sure, on the fuel economy of a 45-foot marathon.
Sure. Well, on any coach, it takes about 60,000 miles from when the engine is brand new. When we get the shell from Prevo, it's got 3,000, maybe 3,500 miles on the shell. We turn it into the motorhome, then the customer buys it and starts driving. It takes 60,000 miles to break the engine in. When we get the shell from the Prevo factory, the new Volvo engines with the diesel exhaust fluid have been getting about 5.5 to 6 miles per gallon, brand new. The older coaches got at least a mile per gallon, maybe more or less than that, straight from the factory. So once you break the engine in, you usually see 1 to 2 miles per gallon better than that after you've got 60,000 miles on the engine. It makes a big difference. Now you've got a big fuel tank on the coach, this
Right.
H. The H here has a 235 gallon fuel tank, and you can get a good close to 1,000 miles on that tank of fuel. So, and another nice thing is the new display here on the dash. We've got half a tank of fuel. This is an estimate. Right now it's telling us with 98 gallons of fuel, we got an estimated 547 miles that we can travel on that fuel. That's one of the nice new things about the Prevo, or the new Volvo dash that we've got in the coaches.
And how accurate is that? Because you've got a lot of experience looking at that of these new coaches.
It's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate?
Yeah.
So if it says estimate 547 miles, that's about right.
That's about right. Of course, I'm of the mind I don't want to let it get really close to that. I don't want to test it out, but yeah, you start getting fuel when, especially if you know the area where you're going, you got an idea where the fuel stops are. So, but you want to start getting fuel before it gets down too low. I have run a coach out of fuel before.
Oh boy.
It's not a fun thing.
Well, it's definitely a comfortable ride.
Yep.
Definitely has that, as you mentioned earlier, that Cadillac feel. And the airbags compensating definitely plays into that.
Yeah, it's a very nice ride. Nicer than any other motorhome out there that I know of. I've driven quite a few. The turning radius, when we get back to the shop there, we're going to show you the turning radius. It's pretty sharp.
Speaking of sharp, I like this GPS that pops out of the dashboard.
Yep.
As the Owl says, that's nifty galifty. That's nice, so that it's hidden when you're not using it.
Yep. But another nice thing about that GPS, it's got built-in Bluetooth. So you can connect your phone to it.
Oh, that's great. What other entertainment is available up here? You while you're driving.
You want to show this? On the dash here, I've got XM radio, or I've got AM/FM radio while we're driving.
So you can tune in to XM Sirius, has every baseball game.
Satellite radio as your... the nice thing about it is you can listen to the same radio station all the way across the United States if you want to.
That's right, yeah. You can listen to spring training baseball or flip it over to 80s on 8.
Yeah. Or Hits 1 or Patriot Radio.
Oh, that's right, yeah. There's a lot of good Bloomberg radio. There's a lot of political. There's a lot of
Fox
finance.
News, CNN, any news radio you want. There's a lot of different choices on XM radio or Sirius satellite radio.
All
And
right.
then you can get the locals on AM or FM radio. So we're going to circle the building here.
Back at the Coburg location. I think James and I should, when we get up here, wherever's the best spot, James and I are going to jump out and let's have you illustrate the turning radius.
Those sharper turns?
Yeah.
We can do that.
So talk about what you're going to do when we stop, because isn't there something that you have to do prior to making a sharp turn like that?
Well, if you want to turn really sharp and you're going slow, it's best to take up the tag axle. Because if you're going really slow and turning sharp, your pivot point on the coach is the drive wheels, which if you're turning really sharp, you're going to be dragging the tag wheels sideways if you don't bring them up. So I'm going to show you something here real quick before we stop. I'm going to go towards the building here. I usually do this with the test driving customers. We're going to head towards this building. We'll see how close we can get before we have to turn. Should we turn now? Should we turn now? How about now?
No way. That was cool.
Okay, if you guys want to hop out, I can show you how tight it turns.
Excellent. I'm going to jump out right in front of James here.
I'm just going to turn all the way around one way and then go back the other way.
Okay, sounds good. Then we'll jump back in. All right. I don't know about you, James, but he was getting pretty close to that building.
Coach will outturn most other fiberglass coaches of its comparable length, even some shorter ones.
Wow.
It turns really nice.
Yeah, that was impressive, especially with the building in the way. Well, big thanks to Dave Bash today. I know a lot of customers have had great experiences with him, and this was a great experience. So thank you for your time today.
No problem. Glad to help.
If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. This was 1249, Marathon Coach 1249. It is for sale. It's a 2017 Marathon. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or email it in. Dave's going to be helping me answer the questions over the next couple days. And next week, we're going to look at 1261, brand new coach coming off the line, finishing it up this week. You've had a chance to look into 1261.
A little bit.
Pretty exciting.
Yep.
This one is a double slide, 2017 Marathon Coach number 1249. Yep. So for James Strecker and Mal Williams, Marathon Mondays, next Monday, we'll be looking at 1261. See you next Monday.